Maybe I'm just nostalgic, or maybe it's truly magical. Whoa, when I see that castle, the feeling is truly magical. Maybe I'm just nostalgic. Maybe it's truly magic. Maybe I'm just nostalgic. Maybe it's truly magic.
I'm Andrew.
And I'm Brooke.
And this is the Disney-Do podcast.
On tonight's episode, we will be discussing Disney movies that you didn't know were Disney movies because they were under the TouchStone label. But Disney created that shit, everyone. So they're Disney movies.
So if you see a movie and it's Touchstone,
that's a Disney movie.
Bitch.
Here's some of our favorites.
We're going to share them with you
Here we are.
right now.
I didn't pick any because I thought we were going to do actual underrated Disney films. Anyway.
Well, these to me are both.
Those are some good selections that I can definitely also talk to. One that's not on there that clearly stuck out to me because it's a movie that I love. It's a movie that a lot of women love. It's iconic. It's Julia Roberts. It's Richard Gere. It's Pretty Woman, baby.
Why do you love that movie?
Because it's just, it's a hooker that gets with this super rich sugar daddy and gets to live the life that is every woman's dream.
Nice teeth.
He does have very nice teeth. Who is that? There's some type of athlete on the screen. I believe he's an athlete.
Yeah, he's definitely. Is he a hockey player? He's got great teeth.
I don't know. Hockey players don't usually have that pretty
Very
teeth.
nice teeth.
Baseball. Okay, moving on.
What the fuck's that umbrella, pussy?
Because
Okay.
they were throwing Gatorade on him. He's a little bitch boy.
Strange.
Anyway, pretty woman walking down the street. Pretty woman, the kind I'd like
beats
to
my
meet.
meat.
Oh, that's actually more accurate. But yeah, that's literally living the American woman's dream. You start out from the bottom, and then you're here, baby.
Yeah.
Get yourself a sugar daddy. He's taking you down Rodeo Drive. You're getting all the good shit. And all you have to do is hang out with him, maybe do some sexual favors. But it's worth it because you look fly as hell and you're going to the polo match.
That's right.
And then he's showing up at your door in a fucking limousine, hanging out of the moon roof with the roses, talking about how he can't live without you. Like, okay.
And
yes.
It works.
Power to the women. You know what I'm saying? That's some Cersei level shit.
Who can leave a Julia Roberts smile, though?
Well, she kind of has a horse mouth, so it's not that attractive.
This is true.
Kind of reminds me of Donkey from Shrek, another underrated Disney movie.
Probably the most underrated.
The most underrated Disney movie
That's
of all
why we
time.
didn't do that episode, because that's all that one would have been about.
Yep. So yeah, Pretty Woman.
Spawning,
It's a Disney movie.
spawning off of Pretty Woman is probably my favorite underappreciated Touchstone one, which is Romeo and Michelle's high school reunion where they sit around watching Pretty Woman all the time.
Romeo and Michelle's high school reunion. I've watched that so many times, and I have like a love-hate relationship with it because it's just so kind of slow and bizarre. And I don't like the one actress. I like Phoebe Buffay, Lisa Kudrow. But the other actress, her voice really drives me up the fucking wall for some reason. Like ever since I was little. But I also I would always watch the movie if it was on. So it's like, I don't know. Maybe I'm a glutton for punishment.
You know the Pretty Woman scene I'm talking about, though, where they're like making fun of it, and then she's just like, "Oh, it's so sad." She finally gets to shop, and she's like, "I do get really excited though when they let her shop." And she's like, "Yeah, me too."
Yeah.
I love when she shops in that movie. That woman's like shitty with her, but
Yeah.
then she comes back and she's like,
big mistake.
bitch.
Huge.
Huge.
She pulls a Trump before it was even Trump.
She really did, actually. Huge.
Yo, Trump's
I don't-
straight up ripping off Julia Roberts.
Yeah. I don't know if I should be mad at Trump for ripping Julia Roberts or mad at Julia Roberts for creating Trump.
I don't think she created him. I think Trump wishes he were a pretty woman, and he's ripping off Julia Roberts.
Oh my God, it makes sense. He wanted the wealth,
He did.
but he wasn't a pretty woman.
He wasn't. And no man was going to take him shopping because
Fuck no.
gross. So
Awful.
he had to do it himself.
Well, daddy gave him money, but then yes.
Well, yeah, he had to kill mommy and daddy first, but
Crazy.
I know.
Another conspiracy to start.
Oh shit, were the Sandersons behind this?
Why Trump's wants to be Julia Roberts?
Julia Roberts does have reddish curly hair in Pretty Woman, kind of like Winifred Sanderson. So how do I connect this? my God. It's called Pretty Woman. The Sandersons' whole purpose in life is to suck the souls out of children so that they are young and pretty.
Can be pretty. Get out.
It's all here.
She's part of the group.
She's
one of
the
them.
fucking Sanderson sister. Do we ever learn her last name? Her name's Vivian. Vivian what?
That sounds very Victorian. Like
Vivian.
old.
That is a Victorian. That is a 1793
Vivian Sanderson.
name.
It sounds legit.
That's it. Vivian Sanderson. What's her mother's name? Winifred? Was that passed down through the generations?
Interesting.
You know, putting her spell on a man.
And it makes sense that she was a horseshoe when it came from money for parents who were witches.
She didn't come from money.
She didn't come from anything. She's a witch.
She put a spell on a man, and he gave her all his money.
Yes.
Look at her now. Youthful, beautiful, getting
Rich.
everything that she wants.
Richard Gere. Come on.
Without doing any of the dirty work. She's a
Bullshit.
fucking witch. That's a witch.
She is.
You're welcome, everyone. Adding another layer.
Book.
One step closer to inheriting Disney World.
I think that's real.
And is it a coincidence that her friend kind of looks like she could be a descendant of Mary? The wacky dark hair.
Another good point.
And kind of like the weird way of speaking. A little like
Yeah.
lispy, goofy.
Interesting. And that's why she said big mistake, huge.
Big
She's putting a
mistake.
spell on that bitch.
Yep. Huge. She did. She put
You're
a fucking
right.
spell
Sorry to
on her.
wag a finger at you, but you're right.
When you're right, you're right.
Damn.
All right. But
That's some
yeah,
chronic shit.
that
Okay.
is. Okay. Let's keep it moving. Another Disney movie you didn't know was a Disney movie because it was a Touchstone film.
There's actually a lot.
There's a ton. There's so many. It's unreal. But here's just, some of them.
All right. I have a whole list here. I have 9 of them. Okay, so here's one from when I was little that I fucking loved this movie, which was Kazam with Shaq.
I was gonna
Shaquille
say,
O'Neal.
is this the one with Shaquille
Yeah.
O'Neal?
Yes. Love that movie.
Dude, I love that movie too. That little kid, wasn't he the same kid that was in like Free Willy 2 or 3?
Probably they reduced, reused, and recycled a lot of kids in the
Yeah.
90s.
Loved that movie. It was so much fun. I also
His pants were dope. He had like the hammer
there's
pants.
like this weird like national phenomenon where everyone believes that like what is he, like a genie?
Yeah.
They like everyone has this weird misremembering of Shaquille O'Neal actually being like Sinbad. Sinbad played the genie. Don't you remember a movie when we were younger where Sinbad was a genie somewhere?
Yeah. What movie was that?
It doesn't exist. There's this
What?
mass hysteria.
Wait!
Everyone remembers this movie where Sinbad was this genie,
He
but it
wasn't.
never existed. He wasn't.
It was Shaq as Kazam.
It was Shaq and Kazam.
Who was the genie.
Yes. Isn't that wild?
Yeah, even Sinbad said he doesn't remember making that movie. He once dressed up as a genie for like a 5-minute skit on a show that no one had ever seen, but that was
Like even
it.
he says stuff.
Yeah, he's like, I wasn't in this
That's
movie, but everyone
crazy.
comes up to me and is
But,
like,
like-
I love that genie movie you did.
I mean,
I
with a
can-
name like Sinbad, you're gonna assume he's a
Yeah.
genie. Sinbad.
But like I remember the outfit and everything, and like Sinbad's in it. I see him very vividly, but that's actually just a made up thing in my head. Apparently, I don't know. It's fucked up.
I think the government flashed us.
Probably
Those men in black shits.
they did. They were like, forget that. Yeah. So Kazam with Shaquille O'Neal and that kid from Free Willy 3, I believe, Free Willy 2 or 3. Maybe
One
it
of
wasn't
those.
even him. I don't know, but that's just kind of what I'm picturing right now. His name was like Elvis or something in Free Willy.
Mm-hmm.
But I really liked that movie. I would watch it all the time when I was younger. That's kind of when like Space Jam came out.
Yes.
And it was like such a cool
And the
crossover
Space
to have
Jam.
NBA players in movies.
All
Like-
right.
Yeah. Good times. Liked that movie.
Whoa,
It makes sense. Like, I'm
whoa,
not-
Whoa, whoa.
I would expect that movie to be a Disney movie. I'm not totally surprised that it's not.
Space Jam?
No,
Kazam.
Kazam.
Yes. I would expect Space Jam to be a Disney movie, but it's not.
It ain't.
We talked about that before.
Because
though.
there's no Disney characters in it. It's all the Warner Brothers. Is it Warner Brothers?
Yes.
Okay.
Looney Tunes.
Yeah.
Shit.
You're like, I'm just like, wait.
Well, there's a
suddenly
lot.
doubting
It's a lot
myself.
to remember.
It is. It's
And
too
we are
much.
Disney experts, not
I mean, look at the
Looney
burden
Tune
we
experts.
place on ourselves to remember all of this and podcast about it.
Exactly.
Jeez.
Exactly.
Come on, people.
So another 90s Touchstone movie that I fucking love that we talked about a little bit.
We did. I think I know what you're going to say. Does it have two leading men?
It does.
Two leading men
Big actors.
in the 90s. Big name
Big names.
90s actors. One was in your film Grease, playing Danny Zuko. Another one later stole the Declaration of Independence. We're talking about Nick Cage and John Travolta, bitches, in
Face Off.
where they literally trade faces
Bingo.
and then fight each other.
Bingo. Which
How
really they're
crazy.
fighting themselves.
Why do they trade faces again? Like, what happened?
So I literally had to watch this for like a Patreon episode of Horror Movie Night yesterday.
Oh, interesting.
Timely.
Crossover.
Side note, movie is 2 hours and 40 minutes long.
It's a big one.
It
Listen.
has no business being 2 hours and 40 minutes.
Homegirl was into it when she was younger.
So Nick Cage was trying to kill John Travolta, accidentally killed John Travolta's son.
I remember that.
John Travolta spends the rest of his career as a cop researching everything he can about Nick Cage so he can catch him. And they catch Nick Cage, but he has a bomb somewhere hidden in L.A., and they need to find out where that bomb is. So they're like, you're the only person who knows so much about him that you can pass as him if we send you into jail to get some information from the prisoners. So they do the face switch. He goes to prison. For some reason, there's no security watching Nick Cage's faceless body because like, he's in a coma. No one ever comes out of that. So he just wakes up from the coma. No one's there to stop him. So he just calls up everybody from his like squadrons like, hey, I'm alive. I need you to kill everybody that knows that John Travolta is wearing my face. You need to put John Travolta's face on me. And then that's pretty much how it goes from there. But it's a really fucked up ending where like John Travolta kills Nick Cage and Nick Cage's wife and then somehow just inherits Nick Cage's son to replace his dead son that Nick Cage killed earlier in the movie.
Yeah, I remember that.
You know, what impresses me most about this movie is the seamless plastic surgery and the transition of the faces. Like, I mean, god damn. Why can't they do that in real life? Because some of these bitches with
impressive.
the fillers and the facelifts are horrifying. And yet, John Travolta gets Nick Cage's face and it's seamless.
Seamless.
His whole body even changes to fit his build.
It's literally as if it was actually them just saying they were the other person.
Yeah. Acting it out even. And it's just crazy that the tissue in his face could live long enough after being removed to then be perfectly transplanted onto Nicolas Cage and then not only allow him to wear it around, is then also be removed again and placed back onto John Travolta.
Maybe.
Like, who are these doctors? You know, they're they're witches. They're not doctors. They're Sanderson sisters.
I was going to say, maybe it's truly
Witches.
magic, and it is because it's the
It
fucking
is. That's-
Sandersons.
That's fucking black devil magic right there. Black magic. That's the Sanderson sisters.
That is. Are all of these?
Because look,
Is all Touchstone?
Thackeray Binks transitioned perfectly into a cat.
He-
You would never know he was a human
It's a
before.
spell.
It's all spells,
That's all it was.
baby. It's all spells. There's some witchcraft at play in Face Off. Let's continue. What's next on the list?
Well, I also have one of my favorites, the late, great Robin Williams.
R.I.P. Never forget, obviously.
Bicentennial Man. Not one of his most beloved. I kind of like this movie because it was weird and I liked it.
It depresses me.
Very sad.
Made me so sad. I'd rather watch Flubber because it's goofy.
I remember, I think what I really loved about Bicentennial Man was his house at the beach. I thought that was really dope.
I don't remember that, but like, okay. Refresh my memory on the plot, because like, doesn't he end up dying at some point, or like someone die, or like he falls in love with someone but he can't ever like be with them because he's a fucking robot? Like, I just remember being so sad watching that movie.
They like buy him. Like he's like a robot.
Obviously.
And they buy him. Mm-hmm. And it was based on.
A true story.
Well, it was based on a book.
No.
Called
a true story.
The
Just like
Bicentennial
Jurassic
Man.
Park and The Handmaid's Tale.
Basically,
Are you looking up the summary right now? Can someone just... Come on. You don't even remember. Because all you keep saying is that they bought
Yeah,
it.
So I haven't clicked into there yet, but this was definitely during what I would call like the depressing Robin Williams stage because he did
Didn't
he was always
did
depressed.
that Walmart
let's be
photo
honest.
movie, right?
24-hour photo.
Yeah.
This was
Awful.
This was
Weird.
And then the other one where he was like the dinosaur costume. That was also
Death
really
of
fucked up.
Smoochie. I love Death of Smoochie, but
Real fucked up.
And like what Dr. Patches or something like that.
Well, that's what I was gonna say.
I love
Jack,
Jack.
Jack is so sad.
It's weird.
Oh my god, it's weird and heartbreaking.
he did Goodwill Hunting, What Dreams May Come, Patch Adams, Jacob
Fucking
the
Dreams
Liar,
May
and
Come.
Bicentennial Man all in a row.
What Dreams May Come fucked me up. Fucked me up. It was wild. Cuba Gooding Jr.'s in that, like wild movie. They go to hell, they go to purgatory. Oh, it's brutal. We should have a whole episode dedicated to Robin Williams and some of his Disney stuff, but like every other weird thing that he did.
He did a lot of weird shit.
Was Mrs. Doubtfire Touchstone?
Mrs. Doubtfire was 20th Century Fox, so it's
20th
now
Century
owned by
Fox.
Disney.
It's not. It's a Disney film now,
Well,
bitches.
Fuck.
Love Mrs. Doubtfire. Doubtfire, do you?
Bicentennial Man basically was like kind of what we're dealing with now. We have robots. We're afraid of them becoming like human-like.
Yeah.
And it was like him. He was a robot that was bought to be like a maid and stuff for the house.
And
but
becomes
became
like
human.
sentient. Yeah.
Basically. And Robin Williams' sadness of that.
Yeah. That I don't like that.
I'm sorry. I can. You know what? I'll cheer you up.
Yeah.
Here's a really great movie that's on the list.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Well, I think you laughed at me when I said about this one.
I can't wait. Let's talk about it.
Gone in 60 Seconds.
You are such a loser, and I love it. Gone in
One of my all-time favorite movies.
You fucking love Nick Cage.
Eleanor. So I
You
low-key
already-
love Nick Cage.
He loves,
Not all Nick Cage though.
You love.
I love Gone in 60
National
Seconds.
Treasure.
National Treasure is seriously one of my most treasured movies. I will, and that's Disney, right? That's a
Yeah.
Disney movie. We talked about this before. It was on my list before. I know it was. I love that fucking movie. Love it. I love natural history. I love adventure. I love treasure hunting.
Andy and I, we took my parents to like Independence Hall in Philly, and it's like, there's a building where like the Declaration of Independence was signed. He's like, yeah, they like filmed the whole scene with like National Treasure here, and I was just like, Jesus God, like that's what you're gonna tell my parents about this right now?
It's probably one of their greatest
It's
achievements.
Disney's sad attempt at Indiana Jones.
Better than Indiana
And they
Jones.
use-
owned Indiana Jones.
They
But
do.
they didn't at first, right? They own it now.
Well, that's part of MGM.
Yeah, because it was like a Lucas, what's his name, Spielberg thing, right?
Yeah.
And now they own it, but they didn't before when it was created.
This is true.
But it's Disney now though. It's in the parks, bitches.
It's on the parks.
It's in the parks.
But Gone in 60 Seconds, love it. I'm a car person. I've always been a car guy. It's like a mix between like National Treasure, not Need for Speed, a little bit of like Fast and Furious, yeah, with a little bit of grit to it. I like that. I love that movie a lot.
It's like
And the cars in it are just
the
great.
way you explained it earlier is perfect. It's like a Nickelback
Yes.
kind of movie.
Yeah, it
Where
is.
like you're never gonna say you like Nickelback, but like when Photograph comes on, like
you're
you
gonna
jam a little
out.
bit.
Yep, that's exact. Yeah, like I never sit at home and like, ooh, I want to watch Gone in 60 Seconds.
Look at this.
But if
graph.
it's on, you best believe I'm like, oh my fucking god, Gone in 60 Seconds is on. I have to watch this. You know?
Yeah, I mean, there's some movies like that, I guess. Anyway, keep going.
Maybe I'll get you with this one. Bruce Almighty?
I fucking love Bruce Almighty.
There we go.
Listen, that's a fucking great movie. I don't care
Phenomenal
what anyone
movie.
says. Jim Carrey kills it. Steve Carell kills it. When Jim Carrey is like mouthing what Steve Carell is doing on the thing, that is one of the funniest. He's like, caca-poo-poo. I lost it.
They do it so well.
Killed me. And it just doesn't get old to me. It doesn't. Bruce Almighty is a fantastic movie. I mean, we got Rachel Green, aka Jennifer Aniston, up in this bitch. Like
She rocks it,
Yeah.
as always.
we've just got a very entertaining film.
But it
And
has substance.
it does have some, like, there's a moral.
Yeah.
It's funny. You got
Love.
a good cast.
Sadness.
Yes.
Yeah.
You go through a gambit of emotions.
Good script.
Yes. It's great. They kind of fucked up with Evan Almighty and like all that shit.
That
but,
ruined it. Bruce Almighty was good, though.
Bruce Almighty is very, very good.
And I still, ever since that movie, I always
Morgan
wanted the ability
Freeman's
to
in
move
it.
fucking traffic. He is. He's God.
He is.
I mean, obviously.
And now anytime I think of God, I just think of Morgan Freeman's voice if God were real.
And I'm wrong for thinking synagogues are weird. Synagogues? Synagogues or gogs?
Synagogues, not
Imagine
gods.
if I thought they were called synagogues my whole life. Like they were some kind of like
It's like
demigod?
cinnamon gods, like up in
Ooh.
the sky. Ooh, now I kind of want a
Can I get a
Cinnabon.
synagogue twist?
Listen, I will pray to a Cinnabon god, like immediately. And a Cinnabon god is anyone who's handing me a Cinnabon.
Yeah. That makes
I will
synagogue
pray
like.
to you, like thank you for bestowing this gift upon me.
Can you imagine if way back when, like that's how these like gods became gods?
Cinnamon buns.
Like literally, like one of them was like, "Here's some cinnamon buns."
And
So
they're
like,
just like,
you are a god.
You are a deity.
Yes,
And they're just like, oh shit.
I
all right.
have oranges.
Oranges. Like, no.
An orange.
I have figured out that that's a star. That's what I'm calling it. It's a star. And they're just like, oh my God.
Genius.
Yes. Or like someone like kills someone else. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
hand-to-hand combat. And they're like, the god of war.
Yes. Fucking idiots.
Oh my God. I love it. You are the fastest man on the planet. You're a god now. It would explain a lot.
That would.
Yeah. Mary was just someone who got pregnant and didn't want to tell her husband that it wasn't his. And now everyone's like, yo, she a saint. She is the mother of our Lord Jesus. Good for her. She's the
I just
original
took a
Sanderson
DNA
sister.
test.
Turns out I'm 100% that bitch.
God's bitch.
God,
God's chick.
God's chick. What? I don't know. I don't know, Mary. It's kind of like cheating. God got you pregnant and you were married to someone else. That's a little dirty.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's like,
But and then God wants to shame people for getting divorces and having babies out of wedlock. And it's like, what did you do, God? Look what you did, okay? Jesus is a bastard, it seems.
I try not to bash religion, but it is one of those things where I'm just like, explain that one.
I just called Jesus a bastard. Like, my ass is going straight to hell. I mean,
technically he is.
technically, I'm a bastard, so I was already
But
going
no,
to hell.
isn't technically he also God?
He is...
But in the version of a human?
Dude, I don't get the Bible.
But them Christians, they think he's some white man.
No, he's brown.
He brown.
He is brown.
He's very brown.
very brown.
And this is the problem with Christian America.
They think he looks like just some white trash dude that went to Woodstock in the 70s.
fucking
And they're like,
hippie.
that's what Jesus looks like. And it's like, wrong.
No. Jesus looked like
does
that
not.
person that you don't want looking or standing next to you in the shopping line. That's what Jesus
He was
looked
born where? In Bethlehem? Okay, he's brown.
like. Huh, that's the Middle East.
Yeah, he probably,
Not a lot of pasty folk there.
right. It's like, he ain't white.
Yeah, he's not some fucking Scottish dude with long hair.
No.
Idiots.
Anyway, moving off that topic, back to weird Disney films. Instead of weird
How do we get on
things
that?
that
Oh, we're talking
people
about
believe.
Bruce Almighty.
Yeah.
Makes sense. So I have two more on the list that I will share. And I'm going to share them both at once and let you decide which one you want to talk about.
Okay.
One of them is the very scary movie by M. Night Shyamalan, Signs, filmed in
Signs!
Pennsylvania.
Like
Not
all of
too
his
far.
other films.
Yes, they're all here.
Actually, speaking of Signs, Andy knows and went to school with the boy who lived in the house that they used the blueprints for in the house of the movie.
No way. Were you in
Yes,
the house?
I've met him. He poured a beer on me. It was great. At National Mechanics in Philadelphia, we all went out one night. Anyway, the other movie?
The Proposal.
Okay, we're going to talk about Signs. Obviously.
Shocking. I
So-
love both.
Everyone knows this. I don't like space. I don't really do aliens. But Signs is a fantastic movie.
It fucks with you.
Dude, it's like the anticipation, the tension in the movie, like you're just constantly on edge, like what's going on here, like you see
The whole time.
it's weird creepy fingers, and that's like all you see for the longest time.
Chops 'em.
And then when they finally, like, Joaquin Phoenix is sitting in that little crawl space under the stairs or some shit wearing his tinfoil hat. I don't understand what's going on, but they show on the TV that alien like
The
suddenly
news.
walk across and they pause it. Scares the shit out of me.
I lose
That is
my
one of the
shit.
scariest moments in film, I think. I don't even know why. It's
And
not
it's
even
literally
that scary.
You're watching it on a TV, and they're watching it on a TV,
Yeah.
and it's still that scary.
Yes.
I don't know how they did it.
And it looks like your stereotypical alien. There's nothing like super weird about it.
But it's
But
terrifying
it flips you out.
every time.
Oh my God. Like I
And then
feel
the
like my
noises.
heart's like beating faster just thinking about it. Oh, it's weird, like little clicks and shit. And like the whole weird like psychic tendencies of Mel Gibson's dead wife when she's like, tell Meryl to swing away. And then he beats the shit out of the alien with the baseball bat. Spoiler alert. It's just like, well, there's too much weird shit happening.
Yeah. That movie. I love that movie because of how it's one of those. It's kind of like Ring for me, like The Ring for me, where
Yeah.
it's like just one of those suspenseful.
The
keeps you on your edge of your
suspense,
seat.
and you're just waiting. It's kind of like you know something bad's gonna happen, and they just make you wait and wait and wait.
Yep.
But you know the worst part of that movie, the part that pisses me off the most,
Hmm.
you can probably guess. They just fucking leave the dog outside to die, like it doesn't mean a goddamn thing, and you hear it die.
Yes. They get it.
Fuck
they
those
like
people.
kill it and eat it.
Yeah,
Or whatever
kill
they
it.
do with it.
It's disgusting.
That is kind of fucked up.
It's super fucked up. I don't like anybody that just lets the dog die. It's rude.
The dog could have helped there to protect you guys.
Yes, the dog was fucking alerting you, like, there's a goddamn alien out here. Do something. Pour your water on
And they
it.
just let it go.
And they're just like, nah, you did.
And what's even greater about, like, one, Sign's a fantastic movie. Love it. Mm-hmm. But also, it got incorporated into Scary Movie 3, which was my favorite Scary Movie rendition, and has some of the funniest fucking scenes based on Signs.
Is inside aren't they on the roof at one point? And you hear them like
Yeah.
running around the roof.
Yeah,
God,
they're
that
everywhere.
flips me the fuck out. Such a good movie. I love that movie.
I need to watch that again soon.
Oh man.
That was
It's
another
trippy.
part, my favorite thing from Scary Movie 3, when the cop woman comes and her hat keeps growing in size. Like the stupidest shit, but it just made me laugh so hard. You all right there? That's like this big. Now that would be a cool ass ride at like a Signs experience.
Yo, fuck that.
You know what I mean?
I would never.
Like you're in the house and the
I
aliens
would
are like,
never. I would never go on that ride. Do you hear me? I would never do it.
this makes me think though, why doesn't Disney invest more in like scary thrill stuff?
Because people complain. Just
Yeah.
like people complain about people going to Disney that don't have kids.
Yeah,
If it's
this-
too scary, it's not child friendly, and people are going to flip out.
yeah. Remember back when we had Brad Pitt on and he was
He's talking about the alien.
yeah, the alien ride that people complained
I
because it was too
forgot he was
scary.
still around.
Yeah, that's Brad Pitt. We talked to Brad Pitt. That's pretty cool, right?
I forgot about that.
Yeah, we talked to him.
So early in our
Disguising
career.
himself as Kevin Perjurer. That's not even a real
Purgatory?
name. Not even a real name. It's Brad Pitt. All right. And the other one was The Proposal. Is that with Sandra Bullock and Ryan Reynolds?
Yeah.
God, you
and
are
they go to
so lame sometimes, Andrew. Like,
I love that movie. I think it's
oh,
so cute.
come on. That's with Betty White, like singing
I
Lil
fucking
Jon.
love Betty White. Yes.
Betty Light.
Betty Light. Don't you fuck with me.
Betty Light.
I love Betty White.
I
and
love
then
Betty
that's the one where
Light.
like that eagle like picks up the fucking dog and carries it. I think it's a great movie.
I don't really like it. Sandra Bullock, she doesn't really do it for me. Like, I really like her in Miss Congeniality.
Yeah.
And, like, what's it? She's in a witch movie, isn't she? She in The Craft or
No, it's
Practical Magic?
Practical Magic.
Yeah, I like that.
Fantastic movie.
Yeah, I like witch movies. She a Sanderson sister?
She's also good in that football movie.
The Blind Side. Yeah.
Great in that.
Yeah.
But I'm a massive Ryan Reynolds fan. I think he's adorable.
You are.
So
I like Ryan Reynolds now. I didn't really like him then.
I
I mean,
love
I
him
liked
all the
him
time.
in what's it like? The movie about the waiters.
Waiting.
Waiting. Yeah.
That movie's so fucking. Oh my god.
Oh my god, it's wild.
My friend Casey and I used to watch it all the time in high school.
I really like Waiting, but like everything else, I was just like, meh. I like him a lot now, though.
See, I love the Van Wilder movie.
You
I know.
know.
I know. See, I have a little bit of fuckboy in me, you know?
You do.
I know.
It's like it's
maybe-
showing itself.
Maybe that's why I'm like,
You got a little fuckboy in you.
fuck.
That's your red flag that you tote around. You got a
I'm
little
the
bit of
red
fuckboy
flag.
in you.
I'm the red flag.
You watched Van Wilder and Gone in 60 Seconds. It's time to maybe reevaluate some things. What you expect out of a partner.
They don't make sense as a person sometimes. Okay. Wow. Revelations.
But honestly, guys, there are so many more like Touchstone movies.
There's a fuck ton.
And you would be like, this is technically owned by Disney, makes it a Disney movie. Like, you will surprise yourself. Go look at the list. It's on
Yeah.
Wikipedia. It's easy.
What I'll say is, it seemed like when I looked at the list, there's a lot in the 90s and 80s, but like not a lot's come out. Like nothing's really come out in the last couple of years even.
Yeah, I think the last one was 2016.
Yeah.
So it's been like 3 years.
But a lot of your favorite 90s movies and early 2000s movies,
It'll blow your mind.
maybe Disney. Again, Disney owns everything.
And you should let us know which ones you guys really like, and we can kind of talk about it and how it's just wild
Yes.
that it's technically a Disney movie.
Engage with us. I
And
know
we
it's-
should also make fun of Andrew for liking Gone in 60 Seconds. So
Go ahead.
please don't miss that opportunity.
And I just want to let you know, if you do decide to opt in to the opportunity to make fun of me for liking Gone in 60 Seconds, I will personally search you on the internet, look through your social medias, and find several things to pick out about you that I can make fun of.
Why would you do that to someone? It's just...
I have a lot of free time between 11 and 2 a.m.
All right, guys. Do it at your own risk.
Love y'all.
Bye.
Matt. Maybe I'm just a fuck boy.
Tell me why you ain't nothing but a fuck boy. Tell me why I never wanna date a fuck boy.
That's that.
Yeah, there that is.
That's the way.
Yep. Okay.
You're listening to the Geekscape Network. You're listening to the Geekscape Network.